This backyard mechanic tears off his cylinder heads, and you simply won't believe what he found inside his engine. Nothing wrong with his engine. That's what he found. Unbelievable. Alright, time to do the other side. We got a break in the day. Cover as much as I can. It's cold out here, so these are probably all going to be stuck. So I'm probably going to have to cut most of them. I see myself in the near future buying a roll of 5/16 and whatever else vacuum hose because of how much I've gone through lately. I don't think I have anything left. So get rid of that guy. What is that, 10 mil? What is that, 10 mil? We jackpotted just now. Out to the end, bop the T-bolt. I did go on eBay last night and I looked up a 3 to 4 inch coupler to replace this guy. And it was like $7. So I bought it. So that's on the way. Whoop. I secured this very nicely. What a bro. Smells like vodka. Shove it in the bed of the truck. Everything smells like vodka. What sucks is the accessory. The head is bolted to, rather, the accessory bracket is bolted to the head. So it kind of sucks. You got to take that off and like let it lay, but that's what working on cars is. It's a lot of shit that sucks for sometimes a small return. Wiring harness by Andy Bryant, LSX Specialties, incredible. I want him to do, like, I just want to send him another one just so I have it, because I like to build things in a weekend, and waiting for stuff sucks. So sometimes I'll get stuff way ahead of time and just sit on it. I have to get another. Someone reminded me, this is actually something I forgot, but I would have ran into and figured out eventually. Inlet air temp sensor, where am I going to put it on that intake? And there's a hole in the top. I just got to stop at the junkyard and get another goober, and then I should be good. Okay, we're done dealing with that guy. Oh, I need a 10 mil. Still have the 10 mil on the gun. Let's rip all these coil pack connectors off quick. Try not to decapitate myself with the hood. Oh, my new garage is insulated. I can't wait. So I can like run a heater. It has a stove in it too. It already has a wood stove. I had one in here, but I got rid of it because I have no insulation. It'd spend hours getting the wood stove going and then it wouldn't retain any heat in here. Sometimes it was nice. I mean, you could get it so hot that the concrete and the floor would be hot. And then obviously that's nice because it's a giant block of hot concrete. It heats the whole garage. Look at that. Beautiful job, Andy. I'm gonna say it 3 more times. Milwaukee, call me. Let's go out on a date. I wish I could play music, guys. When I work out here by myself, I play music the whole time. Got it from my dad. Always playing music, working on stuff. And I hate when it's quiet, but I cannot play music. I don't earn any money, even though it's a small amount to begin with. It's throwing it away by playing music, which is kind of crappy, right? I just want to play some music. You can listen to music on YouTube anyway. Why can't they just... I don't know. Corporate explanation, profit sharing, margins, stuff. Things I don't know or care to know. Alright. Don't cut any wires, you douchebag. I didn't put my O2 sensors back in this setup yet. I can, they're right here, I just didn't do it. It's been fine without them. It's cool that I can put them in. I just was working on my downpipe 3 times in a row. I couldn't decide what I wanted to do with it, so. Okay, this is all pretty tidy. We'll push it all out of the way then. This, I'm just gonna nip it because it's probably not gonna, like, again, it's 40 degrees and the hose is probably gonna rip. Anyway. Alright. We got you. In the trash. That side's totally disconnected. Let's get the 10 on the zippy gun. What a pain in the ass. Oh, nope, can't get that down there. Here's what we gotta do. What you boys know about taping your swivel? Shh, 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 shh. Don't start now, phone. Oh Christ, let's just mute it real quick. No, I can't mute it. I have a 1-week-old child in the house. My wife, if she needs me. I can't believe I had a little bit cracked up plug wire. I mean, these things, they've only got like 250,000 miles on them. Why are they junk? And a turbo engine bay that I beat the shit out of all day long. This one's fine. Now we're going to pay attention to them. This one's fine. I thought it had a crack, but it has a scratch. This one is also fine. And this one's the straight wire. Because this manifold's really tight in the back, so I have a straight. I got this from something. I don't know. Oh, there's a little cut in it too. Sorry. Kick the tripod. Alright guys. Let's do this. What else we got going? Let's disconnect the injectors. Disconnecto. Presto. Okay, pull this back. Out of the way. Pull this back. Out of the way. I really like how he, again, I'm going to talk up Andy Bryan again. He's the only one that I've had give me the option to. He splits everything in the harness from back here all out into its own little fan legs, so you can run it however you want. You're not getting like a lump that you have to. Everything has almost its own home run from the section behind the like top of the bell housing area. Incredible. Easier to manage and run stuff if you want to. And then if you want to get real tricky and extend stuff, it's easier to do that too. All right, let's take the fuel lines off. Let's just be a man and put on our gloves. fuel line and pop the intake off. And get rolling. Just crank on shit. What do I need? These actually work pretty good. I was skeptical, but I figured I would get them for fun to see how they would do, and they actually are excellent. These they're cobalt, like squeeze crescent wrench. You can squeeze it and it tightens up. Okay, there's one. Get it? Number 2. Oh, it smells like E. I wonder if I have a say in union. I can GM in there. I got a lot of funny business. Doesn't look like it. Nope. Time to stop rummaging and continue on. I should wire loom that, really scare people. They'll be sending emails to my physician. That guy alright? Eight millimeter. Did I mention this in the other video that I'm going to try to adapt these return lines to the returnless intake manifold? Part of me just wants to leave it go and put like eBay sells a regulator, and I've used a $50 eBay regulator with fuel lines. Now they sell a $30 regulator with fuel lines and fittings. It's 3/8, and I have this reduced down. It's 3/8 in and out into the rail, and I could put the regulator like right here and then just feed the returnless, and it would be no big deal for 30 bucks. And then if I butcher something, I can always just put it back instead of like permanently, because I might do switching of stuff back and forth. And I don't want to like make one of these intakes only, like, you know, I don't know, was that tight? Wasn't that tight? Maybe I forgot that one. Or did I loosen it earlier? We'll check the tape. I think I missed this one in the back. Okay. Oh yeah, booster. Let's get a flathead. Big flathead screwdriver. Yeah, I'm gonna, since I have the camera over there, I'm totally gonna hit myself with this hood. Oh no, that's good. Actually, it's easier to lift the intake up first, if memory serves. Lift the intake up and then pop this guy off. Same with installing it. Oh, there's another zippy. That's gotta get cut. It's holding the crank position sensor wiring away from the turbo kit. All right, let's see. Transmission dipstick out of the way. You find a home. Okay, lift. Okay. Flathead. Push in. Pull out. Gotta love that ethanol smell. Not like gas. Some people hate E, but I'd say overwhelming majority like it. I mean, straight gas really stinks. Wow, those intake ports are so much cleaner. We're gonna have to review the tape. Nice and clean. So I didn't touch them. I leave them all dirty. What do I care? Okay. Enough sightseeing. Back to the show. That's the wiring. We gotta get the manifold out of that side and get working on the head stuff. We're gonna need got the 10 short, got the ratchet over here, pop them loose. There's the 10 long, here's the 10 short. All right. I'm running out of real estate up here. Yeah, that's good. That's pretty good anyway. If nothing else, it's what you're gonna get. I gotta get the crossover off on this side too. Surprisingly, I mean, Colorado has a tight vertical engine bay, but I've worked on much worse. It's not bad to reach things. There's just like a special way some stuff fits. But other than that, this is one of the easier cars to work on. Obviously, a Fairmont takes the cake. It's just like the best car ever made. Oh dang, I even have my knock sensors plugged in. Look at me. What? This one a little roundy or what? No. Okay. Let's figure out what I'm going to do with this bottom piece also. Got to get that crossover tube that goes underneath. I bolted it in funny. I got to like reach underneath. Okay, I got the crossover out faster than I thought I would. I actually shut off the camera because I thought it would take a while. I didn't want to burn up time under there cursing. But it went well. Everything was fine. Now, I have to get this temp sensor off. Word of wisdom here, guys. Take this temp sensor off anytime you work near it. Just remove the damn thing. Because you're gonna sneeze hard one day and bust this sensor and then be pissed you don't have another one. Put it in a safe space for later. Like the cowl. All right. Got the electric zinger. I gotta order those too. A couple of you guys said Napa. Like if you go get like a 2006 Silverado 1500. Oh, let's get these spark plugs out. You don't want to bust these spark plugs. Maybe you do. Maybe you're a masochist and you truly like to bust your own spark plugs. Who am I to judge? But yeah, like I said, these plugs have been in here like a long time. A year? Through the other motor, different combinations. So I think it's funny to like put them right back in. Because people are always like, oh yeah, plugs. Plugs are fouled. I think, in my opinion, I might be wrong, it's incredibly hard to foul plugs with an LS motor. And most brand new motors with powerful ignition systems and not a bullshit spark plug. It can run awful. It can run terrible. And you can clean it up and you're good. Only once or twice have we had an instance where like Mark's car or something, you know, would slow down and we look over everything and we change the plugs and it would wake right back up. So what I would attribute that to is accidentally breaking one of these plugs. And I say this all the time. If your car is a misfire, I do it on the dyno when I tune the cars, you look at this plug and you can't see anything wrong with it. And you're like, nah man, these plugs are fine. Well, if you get some schmooze, another AVE word, and you wipe the top of this porcelain, it'll stick to a hairline crack. And you will see a giant crack that you couldn't see or touch before, and you'll be like, well damn, my plug was broken. And if you break it here, you're hitting it with the header or a tool, or you are tightening it funny or too tight, and you are cracking it. So don't gorilla the spark plugs. They barely need to be in. In my opinion. Let's get these guys out. Let's get the manifold out. Let's get the accessory belt off. Let's pull the power steering and alternator forward and get nuts with all that stuff. I'm already dreaming up custom intercooler front end if we keep doing these tests. I had a bunch of people ask, not just in the last video, but a couple times before, would I ever do a bigger turbo? Sure, I would try a bigger turbo, but I'd really like to try, I'm putting these spark plugs in a really safe spot so I don't break them, all the way over on my tool bench. I had a prototype VS Billet S480 with the 9088 turbine T6, and he has an 88 millimeter now, and I really like how much power band this has, and how the price point is, and how drivable it is, and how it has really excellent part throttle, but also it is fun to make like a big boy top end setup. I would try it. I would like to try it one day. I'm not going to go out of my way to put the giant turbo on, but I think it would be neat to see, you know, the smaller motor with a huge turbo. But at that point, I think it's going to be worthwhile to use better rods and a better converter, because I don't think this converter is going to you're not going to see a really good result because the converter is going to go away. So this combo, right where it is pretty excellent. I might do fuel pump number 2, and I'll probably put the 105 pounders in. Not because the decaps are not working, they're just not large enough for excessive amount of power. Like I said, this 500 horsepower range is a nice, comfortable, like the 5-foot range of the local swimming pool. It's a comfortable area. You can walk around. No one's doing weird shit around you. No one's shitting in it. So, you know, this is the Goldilocks zone, 500 horsepower, because you're not really taxing anything. You could be doing a lot worse. Oh, look at that. It's a good thing we're swapping heads. Back bolt broke. That's why that one seemed loose. I did tighten it. It broke off in the head. I'll have to get that out, but we're putting the other heads on. See that? Son of a bitch. It's like one of those mythical things, the 10 mil versus the 13 mil. I like the 13 mil heads better. They may not have any holding advantage other than, I think that, you know, more surface area for the tool you're using to install them. I mean, the threads are still the same. The bolt hole is still the same. The head is only slightly larger. I can't imagine that it does a whole hell of a lot other than make me feel better. We all have those irrational things, right, that make us feel better. Even though they do nothing. As long as it's not rob bolts or some shit that costs you money and a risk of some sort of failure because you're fucking with your rob bolts. I just like the 13 mil fasteners. Stop grilling me. Oh, hitting my alternator power wire and my power steering thing. I mean, these just fit. Again, Corey Johnson outdid himself on this. It doesn't look like anything would fit in there, and that bitch drops in. And I have had this turbo kit apart. If you guys have been watching long enough, you know how long and how many times this thing has been apart. And here's a good one for everybody that bitches about slag, where we gotta get a light. Oh, there's like little nipples inside the pipe. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, it's still there. It hasn't gone anywhere. What are you worried about? They revoked the bus pass for those. Really, that kit's beautiful. I don't know. I gotta look what V-bands he used. Because the damn V-bands, usually you go to tighten them once or twice and they break clean off. Everyone has submitted to those frustrations once or twice. Alright, accessory belt, 15 mil. 15. Monkey Fab. Excellent products. Michael Hennessy. Great guy, amazing friend. Runs a nice business. Does a lot of charity work. That's why him and I get along. We like to give back. This is going to be a pain in the ass. I screwed myself. Coolant hose is blocking my wrench. Realistically, I don't really need to remove this belt. I can just let it hang out. Who cares? Okay. Squirrel, keep on track. Oh, I got it out with my hand. Maniac. Backwards or forwards? Backwards or forwards? Let's play that game. That's the game we're playing. Oh! I'm gonna crank these by hand real quick, knock them loose, and then I put Milwaukee Save the Day on there. And he saves the day. It's gonna be a little bit tight because my fan and everything is installed, and usually by this point I have the rad and fan removed because I'm pulling the whole damn motor out. Bottom bolt, bottom bolt. Bottom bolt. We're on it. Cross threads are the best threads. That one's loose. One on the side of the cylinder. One on the side of the block. That guy going. Watch the paint. Could you watch the paint? I feel like you don't care about the fit and finish. wire off. That's the ground that goes to my battery. Every now and then, since I've had the motor out and stuff apart 65 times, let's give you guys a better, I feel like you're staring, you know. Oh, there we go. Let's make sure. I had forgot to put this on a few times and had my starter really struggle. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I get all pissed off. I don't know what's going on. Why is something dragging? What's wrong with this thing? Blah, blah, blah. And I troubleshoot my starter, and I hook up a ground and power on my starter, and it cranks like a beast. And I go, Matt, you forgot the ground wire again. You jerk. Expert. Flat rate mechanic. Actually, I don't need to take the alt off. I should be able to just swing it forward. What I do want to do is maybe take the I will probably take this power line off because it's kind of short and I don't want to stress it out. Break it. Because I did a nice job making it. If I pull this whole accessories forward and I break this line or tweak it, and I gotta make a new one, and this one's fine. Alright. You're good. You're good. Let's leave the easiest one to get to, probably this one. Ping! And we'll get the bottom one, which may be a pain in the ass, which may have to come out by hand, which is going to come out by hand easy. Maybe not really easy, but easy enough. Alright. That was pretty easy. There's the lower bolt. Just touches the fan shroud. Whew. Okay, we got one more. We should be able to take it off with the Milwaukee. Pull this guy forward. Do I have a bungee? If I got a bungee somewhere, I would be really happy. Okay, I don't have a bungee, but I have a little puller. To hook this guy anywhere. Just pull that Jones out of the way. Let's pop this guy loose. Oh, there's one more. I was gonna say, should have started the shift by now. Not the greatest thing to pull on the ratchet. It's plastic body. If I had a metal body one, I'd really hammer on it, but it's just one of my favorite tools. Let's not bust it today. Whoa, man, who tightened that thing? Magilla. Alright, actually that sits there pretty nice, but we're still gonna pull it out of the way a little bit. Alright, my hands are sweating so bad in these gloves, they gotta come off. They're not doing me any good. Okay, time to get the heads, valve train out. Keep digging. Are you recording still? Keep digging. Let me check my phone. Yep. No emergencies. Okay. let's get these wires handled, so I'm not clamping down my cylinder heads on them. Is that a 10 mil? The back of the head, or a 13? 13. Okay. 13. No, it's not. What the hell is it? 15? 15 ratchet wrench coming right up. Coming right up. Who's that? Okay. My dad. Nope, it's a 14. What the hell? I must have used some random bolt, because nothing on an LS is a 14. Okay. Tighten it first, guys. Make sure it's tight before you loosen it. Make sure you had it tight. Okay, ground wire. Any other ground wires on the cylinder heads? That's crank position sensor. Okay. Now, hard to believe this is a stock harness. Let's talk up Andy Bryan again during this intermission. LSX Specialties on Facebook. Okay, that's good enough for me. Good enough for who it's for. Let's dig into the valve cover. I'm gonna put on light gloves. Probably rip them 30 times. Who cares? I'm trying to keep my hands clean. Selling out. 8mm. While I'm babbling, 8mm. On target. I put the 8 away? I did not. The 8 is here. Man, that one's right up against the booster. I need to get the tiny 8. Hey, there's a valve cover. All right. Stack you there, and let's get the ratchet in there, crack all these loose. Doing good. Doing good. Can you see down in there? Wee-oo. Kinda. I mean, it's way down in there. Maybe I'll try here for a little bit and then we'll go to the other side. You can let me know later which one's better. Alright, well, yank these and I'll move you to the other side with no motion sickness. Okay, moving right along. It's time to do steam vent tube. Ratchet, where's my zippy gun? On the floor. Now there's great debate. This has a 4-port on it because it came with it. And I put the thing back in the water pump like I normally do. People go nuts about the back being blocked or the only being the front and then putting 2 front pieces on to make it all 4. And I gotta say, I've done it with all of them blocked, with all 4 connected, and just 2, and I haven't really seen a big difference. I mean, maybe if you have a race car or something really crazy. I mean, I can't see a huge difference in just like a street car with whatever testing. Almost no change. All right, come on out. I'm just gonna lay you in here all funny. Because like Kurt Urban sells this like billet aluminum, stainless lines, this real fancy looking thing. And I know people who have like blown motors, then they're like, oh man, they buy the Kurt Urban thing, blow another motor. So obviously in that scenario it didn't do shit. Before I pull these heads, well, look at that, little plastic chunks from when I drilled the intake out. Let's get the other side off. Are you rolling? You're rolling. Steam vents out of the way. Heads are almost ready to come off. I should do the coolant stuff next, which I comically said I would regulate my compressor down and spray the coolant out. I do plan on doing that. We're going to do that today. We're going to do that right, not meow, but real soon to meow. Real close to meow. How's this battery? Yeah. Obviously this side, nice and easy to get to. Alright, you on the ground. Get on the ground. Let's knock all these loose. Some of these rockers are lighter than the others. Like, I spilled them all out onto the thing when I did the cam and stuff. So I put some of the clean ones on, some of the dirty ones on. And every now and then I'll look at them and 1 or 2 will be like super worn. And I'll just swap them since I have like 30 of them in a Rubbermaid bin. I've done where I haven't swapped it. I've done where I did swap it. And it really doesn't make a difference. Take, for example, my wife's truck. I put the same cam in her 4.8 2000. She has a 2008, I think. 2007 or a 2008 truck. Did the same cam. She has a 58 tooth motor. And top of her push rods and her rocker and the insides were they were worn, like they had football shape. I just put them right back in. I never had a problem. Doesn't make noise, makes good power, runs good. Well, what else do you say? What's there to talk about? Okay. I feel like I'm gonna kick those. They're gonna go everywhere. Oh, trying to get away from me. Trying. What'd I say? They don't sit in this other valve cover nice with their brothers. So we'll dump them all over the floor, get them all filled with concrete and shit. Stock trunnions, whatever needle, whatever things are in there. Needle bearing, stock bearing, what? I don't know. No fancy shit. All right, should we pull the head off of the crappy side first? Probably. And then what we'll do is we'll have to swap the plug. I don't know if he sent the plug with the other head. Let's just pull the plug quick. And then let's get the coolant out before I squirrel away from that. Coolant might be low enough as is because it hasn't come out of the temperature thing or this thing yet. This motor looks good. Now the heads have never been off this motor. Some of you might know that already. I just threw it in as is. You saw the video where all I did was take it apart to put the cam and springs in, slapped it right back together. This is just, there's a brake line in the way, so we're just going to have to go through it the pain in the ass way. Continue on. I can't spin it by hand. There's some bullshit thread locker on it. Throw that in there. Alright, and these head bolts are going to go right back on. Those head gaskets are going to go right back on. We're not screwing around. We all know the stock reused ones work best. So let's get... Heater hoses are in the way. Do I want to even mess with the heater hoses at this point? I think I'll be fine without them. Sorry, ejecto seat guy, but I have limited time. So I'm just gonna skip that step for now. That's what I'm good at, is skipping all the steps. What do we have here? Can I dump bolts in something? Stay organized. Even if you work like a madman, try. It'd be much easier. I mean, if you take it apart and put it back together in the same day, that's obviously ideal because you have less time to lose and forget. But it's good to... my brain does not work some days. Good to stay organized. Alright, let's get the big mamma jamma out. 15. Shorty. Let's see what kind of damage we can do. Another excellent Milwaukee product. This is not even the fuel. Boom. Not even the fuel. Oh man, it's like that bad motor smell comes out. Even if it's good. It's like opening an old cheese. You're smelling all the... letting the magic dust out. Can I get on this back? Oh, that's incredible. I'm not going to be able to get the impact gun on the back one. I might as well get that out by hand quick so I don't kill myself. The thing is to do the handwork first. Can I get this on there? Yet I got that extension. Do this first, and then kill yourself. Well, do this first so you don't kill yourself. Oh! That side's gonna be fun. I'll have to do it from over here. I'll climb into the engine bay or something. Something crazy. What is that, a 15? Let's shortcut this pig. Let's get this. Let's get this. Oh man, we need the 1 inch. We need the 1 inch, guys. Oh, I got it out. It is over here. Squirrel. Throw it on the ground. So it knows what kind of life it's going to live. There she is. That's the proof in the pudding right there. This is the older motor. Short bolt. Short bolt, long bolts. Short bolt, long bolt. Alright, jerk. Back on task. I gotta get wipers for this truck. Blah, blah. Oh, a little bit of tinkle. Who's the jerk now? Tinkling. Short bolt. Let's give it a second. If I just let it tinkle, it'll be less that showers out when I lift the cylinder head. I got a bunch of cardboard under there, soaking it up, and my drip pan. I just didn't want to waste the time doing air hose stuff. And then I bet I forget to turn it down and I do some dipshit stuff, and I hit this thing with like 100 pounds, I blow my heater core up. That would be excellent while I'm rushing. Stock 862 heads. Pack springs. Maybe we'll save them up for another project. Gotta get that broken bolt out of them. Are you done yet? Let's expedite this process. All the bolts out? All the bolts are out. Just talk to yourself some more. It's okay. You can say that people on the internet were listening. That's what you can tell yourself. Make yourself feel better. Alright, these heads are going to go over here. These guys are going to go over here. I got quite the puzzle over here on the floor. Maybe not as bad as some of you might think. Okay. Grab the intake ports. I don't know if you guys are familiar with yanking these. The easiest way to do it is grab these intake ports. You might hurt yourself otherwise. If you did not know, if you are not into LS motors, you might not know that they are actually giant razor blades. The entire cylinder head is a giant razor blade. Now you know. I got the head gasket with the cylinder head. Wow. Go over here. Head gasket fell. Did it? Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, she's looking mean. She's ready to fight another day. Look at how beautiful these pistons look. There ain't even a mark in them. Me and the previous owner certainly weren't trying hard enough. This is another reason why I'm wearing gloves. I have a $1,000 camera that I have to touch. I will be right back. Rip off these gloves. I can't even touch the stop button. Let's rip off the gloves. And let's show you what these pistons look like. Like a dream. Like a dream vacation, guys. See those? Holy crap. Looking good. Smells like vodka again. They look brand new. Pleased. Definitely pleased. How's that cylinder head look? We got enough light over here? Cylinder head looks great. Yeah, junker. See those intake ports? They got slightly clean. I mean, they were dirty. I don't touch them. I leave all that gunk in there. So the whole top where the ethanol's been spraying is cleaned. Pretty neat. All right, let's reposition, yank the other side. Beep, recording. All the dirt. Let's get that cylinder head bolt box over here. And then what I do, I don't know if I explained this before, so I'm going to say it now. You're going to see me do it. I'm trying to record as much as possible since, I mean, seemingly everyone learns more from it. I thought, you know, the way everybody seems to learn or like is cuts to like the ending. And not the way I like to learn, but it's the way that seemingly people like to learn on YouTube. But the more I take my time and show you guys everything I'm doing, the better feedback I get. You say I'm full of tech tip nuggets the entire time I work, and I explain stuff that I do and why I do it. When I reuse cylinder head, bolt, gasket on an old motor, I take an older head bolt, and I'll show you, I cut a line in it with an angle grinder, and I run it in and out, and I make sure that the thread is clean because it's dirty, gunky, has a tiny bit of like oxidation and stuff going on. And what that's going to do is it's going to fuck up your torque reading when you go to tighten the head bolt. It's going to get caught in gunk and snap the head bolt, which is like a primary offender for a lot of people. Are always posting on sloppy. I tried to tighten, my head bolt broke. And another thing, if you're using a Harbor Freight clicker, which most people are, which is what I use, nothing wrong with that, you need to pull it relatively quickly. You need to give it like a sharp yank, because if you pull that thing slow, it'll never click. Try it sometime. Pull it really slow. You can get like, well, you can double your, what you want to tighten something down to, I think, easily before it clicks. That's a problem. For a bunch of people anyway. Double on these torque to yield head bolts. And then when I reuse them, I click them down to about 65 pounds. And then for fun, I bought like a super expensive Matco torque wrench because it reads where you left your maximum pull. So I tighten these like stock. I do like the 15 foot-pounds and then a 90 degree or whatever the hell it is. I'm not entirely certain. I can't. It's close to that if I recall. But since they're already stretched, you can just go to the final number, which ends up being approximately 51 to 53. 53 is like the high side. I like to go 50 or 51. We used to do 55 on a blatant guess. But if you tighten it to GM's specification and you test it with like that yield wrench, it'll tell me where I left, about 51 pounds. So I set the damn thing to 51 and I bump them all down to 51 instead of doing anything else now. Can't get the impact gun in here. Gotta get these guys out old-fashioned way. You know what? I gotta talk to my buddy. This is a funny story. If you guys watch VinWiki, Arnie Tillman, former owner of AMS Performance, paid me to do a Blues Brothers LS swap. He has a Bluesmobile, and I shared the story. He recently did a Cannonball run, a C2C race, and won. And when I swapped that car, he had some tools and coolant and oil and stuff in the trunk. And I think he had this. I think this is his, because I don't remember buying this. And now I'm just realizing that I think it was his, and I stole it from him. Now I gotta tell him I stole. I don't even remember when I did that. But this is not something I bought. And I don't think like my dad or someone got it for me. We got coolant out the other side. Well, I think we're just gonna let it drip. Because realistically, what can I do about it? It's not gonna be that much. Anyway, sorry, Arnie. If I remember, I'll message you about it. I'm sure he won't care, but I have to let him know now. I feel like a turd. Because I don't think that's mine, and I think it's his. Man, this thing is paying in dividends today. See, for $100, this might seem expensive. But if you don't have a lot of time, this guy obviously maximizes a lot of your time. I mean, imagine doing this with a bunch of socket throwing swivels, making you angry the whole time. Even though I had to pull those loose, because people are like, oh, it doesn't, I mean, look at it. It's not that big. How's it going to have a huge amount of power like the impact gun? Quit complaining, okay? Alright, let's get these in the box. And we'll have the heads off. I don't have a timer, but I don't have a whole lot of time into this. You can trust me. I have almost 100% of it recorded, so I think you'll believe. If you've been watching for a while, you'll be asking me why it took me so long. Because that's the joke. Man, it looks like there's nothing in this engine bay. Once it's just down to the block, jeez. Look how much I was able to leave connected. Impressive. Acceptable. Okay, let's take a look from here. That one's not out. Did I loosen it? That should be it. Should be it, kids. Okay, come on. Don't be a pain in the ass. Nice rain sounds as the gentle coolant drips onto the cardboard. So are the days of our lives. Knock sensor wiring. I actually plugged it in. I must have just done it for fun, because they were supplied. Alright, this head, getting yanked. Again, into your powerlifting stance. I can't imagine. I mean, some of you older hot rodders, no offense, I'm 33. You guys are putting iron heads on small blocks and big blocks. I can't imagine what an iron big block head weighs. I have to look it up. It's probably incredible. I mean, these you can pick up and throw with one hand. There she is. head gasket. Oh, glued on tight. It's a boy! Okay. Again, minty, fresh looking pistons. Let's get some of the coolant out of here and I'll show you. There's even a tiny bit of, like, bottom of it's really getting clean from the E. I'm assuming these were all very dark on the top. Because it's funny, the longer I ran my truck, I took it apart so many times, the cleaner the piston started looking new. It started looking like it was never installed. It was cleaning itself so well. Alright, let's pull the gloves. So no tomfoolery, no camera cuts here, guys. I know I'm a hack job, but I'm not a liar. Did I just smudge my lens? I don't think so. Look at that. Look at them. Happy soldiers. Ready to rock. Alright, I'm going to stop the camera and I guess prep, let everything dry, clean some stuff up. Be right back. Alright. Dink. There we go. Got the cylinder head here. This is the ported one that I did the valve springs in the other day, and it has packing peanut stuff all over it. So we're just going to good enough for me. Spiffy. Beautiful. Wonderful. Good work. That's what you tell yourself. You did a nice job. Now, does this one have the thingamabob in it? Neither one has the... That one has the Allen key in it. So this is going to be the driver's side cylinder head. So we will do the driver's side one first. Camera's almost out of battery. I'm gonna go check in on the wife and kids. Kid. Just both of them plural. And then we will come back and we will put some dowels and head gaskets, and I gotta go clean up, like razor blade that real quick, and some other stuff. But be back. Probably swap the battery on this camera if I can come back out.